Lent Day 10. Don't compare God's love. So the last shall be first, and the first last. Matthew 20, verse 16. Quick view. Don't worry about how you compare with others in relation to God. Worry about how you can grow His kingdom. Question. Does this mean I can live a life of wine, woman, and song and turn towards God later in life and still be rewarded? The literal answer to this may be yes. I won't be a judge here. The point is that the sooner you turn towards Jesus, the more you get to enjoy His strength in your life here on earth. Why not start now and get the benefits now? Sure makes sense to me. Application. We discussed Matthew 20, verses 1 to 16 this morning in our men's group meeting. This is a parable about the landowner, God, who hires men at different times of the day and at the end of the day pays them the same generous fee. Those who work the entire day feel cheated because those who only worked a short time got the same pay. This sets up Jesus' statement above. What he was trying to say in this parable is that the kingdom of God is for all people with the same reward, regardless of where they are coming from. It is the same for those who have known the Lord since they were young and lived as true and faithful servants, and the same for those who led a questionable life but turned to Jesus in their later years. That's the neat thing about God's mercy. It's for all people regardless of where they currently are in their life. We want to be careful that we don't act like those workers who worked earlier in the day and felt that they should be rewarded more than the others. They agreed and were paid a generous fee, probably more than fair. They only felt cheated when they felt things weren't fair. They forgot they were being rewarded. They wanted to compare. What they should have done was, once they had this great deal to get a great pay, they should have been eager to get some of those later in the day workers to share in their good fortune earlier in the day. Like them, we worry about how we compare to others with God's grace instead of getting more people into the kingdom. Lord, your grace is overwhelming and more than ever we could want. Instead of comparing ourselves with others, help us to share the wonderful lessons that you have given to us. Matthew 20, verses 1 through 16. Jesus is saying this. God's kingdom is like a man who owns some land. One morning the man went out very early to hire some people to work in his vineyard. He agreed to pay the workers 1 silver coin for working that day. Then he sent them into the vineyard to work. About 9 o'clock, the man went to the marketplace and saw some other people standing there. They were doing nothing, so he said to them, "If you go and work in my field, I will pay you what your work is worth." So they went to work in the vineyard. The man went again about 12 o'clock and again at 3 o'clock. Both times he hired some others to work in his vineyard. About 5 o'clock, the man went into the marketplace again. He saw some other people standing there. He asked them, "Why do you stay here all day doing nothing?" They said, "No one gave us a job." The man said to them, "Then you can go work in my vineyard." At the end of the day, the owner of the field said to the boss of all of the workers, "Call the workers and pay them all. Start by paying the last people I hired, then pay all of them, ending with the ones I hired first." The workers who were hired at 5 o'clock came to get their pay. Each worker got 1 silver coin. Then the workers who were hired first came to get their pay. They thought they would be paid more than the others, but each of them also received 1 silver coin. When they got their silver coin, they complained to the man who owned the land. They said, 'Those people were hired last and worked only 1 hour, but you paid them the same as us, and we worked hard and all day in the hot sun.' But the man who owned the field said to one of them, 'Friend, I am being fair with you. You agreed to work for 1 silver coin, right? So take your pay and go. I want to give the man who was hired last the same pay as I gave you. I can do what I want with my own money. Why would you be jealous because I am generous?' So those who are last now will be first in the future, and those who are first now will be last in the future."